Hey, a huge thanks to Wes and Traffic as Currency for putting on the Product-Led Summit. Thank you for registering, and above all, thank you so much for checking out this session. I hope you enjoy it. My name is Ethan, and I've been running in Brooks shoes for several years. I've had several pairs of them, and so I visit their website from time to time, especially if they're having a sale. And I noticed on one of my recent visits that they had a customer care section right in the top main nav. And I was having a very minor superficial issue that I thought they might want to know about. So in my Ghost 10s, I've been running in their Ghost series. It's a neutral, lightweight shoe. And I noticed that around the edge there that there was some fraying, and I'd never experienced this on any shoes before, and certainly not in any of my Brooks shoes, and certainly not in their Ghost series. And so I thought they might want to know about it. I don't know if anyone else has these reports. And as someone who works at a software company, it's really helpful when 5 or 6 people tell you something and you can substantiate it versus one person telling you something and you can't generate that experience yourself. And so you wonder, is this a thing? And so I thought I would contribute that piece of information to them. And within, I don't know, 2 minutes, I had the standard reply, hey, we got your thing. Within a couple hours, I had a personal reply from a gentleman on their side, spoke specifically to me, and certainly apologized, but then also made good with me in a personal email. And he gave me a new pair of Ghost 11s. That's $120 retail. So where I was exclusively offering this just for their awareness, I didn't expect a new pair of shoes out of it. I didn't demand anything or expect anything. They went above and beyond expectations. But more importantly, as I dug into their brand and their commitment to deliver in this way, it was completely consistent with what they promised people. It's like their brand promise, their internal mission, etc. And so I got this brand new pair of shoes. It was at my house within a week's time, and it was amazing. So I wrote about it in a personal blog post, and I got a follow-up. Brooks found that post, and their director of runner experience got back to me and told me, among other things, I can't thank you enough for the incredible message your post helps me communicate to my customer service team. And so when you think about that title, runner experience, that's a lot like user experience or product experience. And when you think about communicating these things, like what is that intended experience and how do you get everyone to buy in? Because it really is a product of everyone's contribution to the effort in each and every seat in the house. How are they contributing to how the customer experiences your brand, experiences your product, and experiences you as people? So that's what we're going to be talking about. Customer experience is the collective thoughts and feelings that your brand or your product provides people. And it's through their usage of the product, and it's through these various touches. It's through your website. If you listen to a marketer like Seth Godin, he'll tell you something like, if it's noticed, it's marketing. Everyone's a marketer. Marketing is everyone's responsibility. If you're into internal branding, which is something I'm kind of interested in myself, you know that brand is everyone's responsibility, and everyone needs to know it and live up to it and bring it to life and make it manifest, bring it down off the wall and bring it down off statements and turn it into real actual behavior. But the thing I like about customer experience most is that it puts the emphasis where it really belongs. This isn't some internal navel gazing focus on who are we and what are we about and what are we trying to do here. This is, what experience do we want to create for our customers? So that's what we're going to be talking about here. And specifically, we're going to be talking about something that I've spent the past 9 years focused on, is how do we use simple personal videos to improve that customer experience. Along the way here over the next 20, 25 minutes, you're going to get a story of surprise, delight, and advocacy. You're going to learn about an 82% decrease in time to ticket resolution, a 56% increase in cold response rate to emails. So here's the light agenda. I'm going to start by talking about the difference between personalized and personal. They're both valuable, but they are not the same thing. It's a subtle difference, but it's an important one. You're going to hear a product marketing example and see a few videos, a CS example, and a freemium upsell example of using personal videos to improve that process. And I'll close with some basic tips to get started with simple personal videos on your own if you've dabbled but not really doubled down on it, or if you've never tried it and you've heard about it, you know, you're seeing some buzz around that different people in different seats in the house are starting to use video. I'll share with you how you can get started yourself and get started successfully. So personalized is not personal. They're different, but not the same. And to illustrate, I created 3 pairs of photos, and they are these. And you can see the difference. Personalized is when Netflix sends me an email that says, hey, Ethan, you seem to enjoy the first 3 seasons of this series. Wanted to let you know that the 4th series is now available. You should go check it out tonight. I know that my own past behavior, their knowledge of what I'm doing, my usage of their product or service allows them to trigger messages like that. And it's highly personalized. It's super valuable. I enjoy those messages. There's obviously nothing wrong with personalized, but it's not truly personal. When the director of runner experience reaches out and speaks very personally to me, Ethan, about something that I've done in my experience with their products and the promise that they're making to me, that is truly, truly personal. And so there's a difference between personalized and personal, and you're going to see that a little bit in some of the examples we talk about, but personal is truly human. And that's something that we all crave. We're lonelier than ever. We're more isolated than ever. And making a personal touch somewhere in your product-led environment can make a very big difference, not just for your customers, though, not just for their usage, but also for you. This is a more effective and a more satisfying way to work. And I hope you'll experience that with me here. Personal video is not marketing through video. If you hear the word video and you think scripts, lights, production, casting, editing, and all of these other things, that's not what we're talking about here. The point of reference for what we call marketing through video is a television commercial or a film trailer or that amazing new homepage video that that company just released and they spent, money with an agency or their own production department on. That's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about here is something we call relationships through video. These are simple, personal videos. And the point of comparison is not a television commercial or a homepage video. The point of comparison is this video communication better than if I typed out the same message in a 2, 3, 4 paragraph email and sent it to someone? Would it help me communicate more clearly? Would it help me connect with people more effectively? And it would help me convert at a higher rate. And when I say conversion, I don't just mean sales conversion. It could be a micro conversion like an affirmative response or reply or returned phone call, someone clicking and going and installing something. It could be a micro conversion like that, or it could be a macro conversion like, a sales situation, a signed contract for 385 seats, 385 licenses for your product. So it could be any of a variety of those. But the point of reference is this better than if I just typed it out? And the takeaway here is that a perfect video is not necessary. To get your job done more effectively, you don't need perfect video. And if you screenshot this, and you go after you watch this and search the shiny authenticity inversion, you'll have a much better understanding of this, of conversational over scripted, of authentic over produced, and the difference that you create here. And when you do that, you're going to understand that not only is a perfect video unnecessary, B, of course, perfection is completely unattainable anyway, but C, it's not even desirable. You shouldn't even aspire to perfection anyway. The more shiny and perfect and polished your video is, the less authentic it feels, and that is not a net add necessarily to the customer experience. So here's that product marketing story. I created a survey for some really high-use customers of our Gmail instance. We have a Chrome extension, and not only does it work in the Chrome browser, but it also adds a number of benefits inside the Gmail inbox. And so to help out our product team, I was looking for some insights from our very best users, hundreds and hundreds of people who've sent hundreds and hundreds of videos out of Gmail using our service. And so I used video emails to generate a 30% participation rate in that survey. And then I got a couple hundred pieces of verbatim feedback. And I personally followed up with about 50 of those with videos. Where I addressed people by name and spoke specifically to their circumstance. I was trying to do one of 3 things across this body. Build on the positive. If someone was very positive and encouraging in their feedback and told a transformational story to me in their verbatim feedback, I wanted to double down on that and take a user and turn them into a super user, or a super user into a super advocate. I wanted to address the negative. It's not perfect. It's software. And if you're honest with yourself, your software isn't perfect either. And so I wanted to address the negative with people, make sure people felt heard, and to let them know how we were addressing the problem. And of course, I wanted to cure confusion. Sometimes people just don't explore and click that button to do that thing that you didn't know that it could do, but it's sitting right there in your face. So I wanted to cure some of that confusion too. And with the rest, of course, I forwarded them into product or directly into CS for better or more specific follow-up, something I didn't feel I could add a lot of value to. And the fun thing was, as I sent these videos out on a Saturday morning in like a 2.5-hour period, I knocked out 50 or so personal videos, 55 maybe. They looked a little bit something like this. So I'll play a portion of one of these videos. Hey, Curtis, it's Ethan here at BombBomb. Thank you so much for taking the time to fill out that Gmail survey, and thank you for making us even some small part of how you're connecting and communicating with people. It's an absolute privilege. Quick note on your template note in the feedback. I just was taking some time this morning to follow up personally with everyone who had something that I felt like I could address. So I addressed what his interest was. It was kind of more like a feature request, and he was positive in general. And so he sent me a video back, which people can reply back to you with their own videos when you use our service, even if they're not customers. In this case, of course, he is. And so that's what he did. And here's what he told me.
Hey, Ethan, thanks for the follow-up, and I do appreciate the video response. It's kind of crazy. You're probably one of the first ones that I've actually done the survey for my industry that's actually responded back. So keeping the engagement is an awesome thing, and I do appreciate your time. Thank you again. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
Really simple video. It's the type of video I'm sure he's sending all day, every day. Again, this gentleman has sent hundreds of videos using our service inside Gmail, but he doesn't get responses to these surveys. People are giving us their time, but not hearing back. They don't know if they've been heard. They don't know what value they've contributed. And yet we're asking them for this all the time. We're asking for favors. And so this is a simple way. I mean, that's the essence of surprise and delight, doing the unexpected in a positive way for your customers. Now, not everyone replied to my videos with videos of their own, so I got some text responses. Here are just a few. Thanks for the great tips. Thanks for taking time to reply with this valuable info. I'm very impressed as to how quickly you responded to my suggestions. Thank you so much. Love it. Now, if you're not keeping track, there are 6 exclamation points on the screen across these 4 responses. And if you look at them, you get the sense that I potentially turned users into super users and friends into real advocates for what we're doing, that you're helping people. I'm empowering and equipping people to do more than they were doing before. This is the essence of what we're trying to do with product marketing in general, is expand usage and ultimately expand advocacy for what we're doing. Here's another example of a real negative. You know, again, our software is not perfect, and we had a little spell here that you'll learn about when I click play. And this was a gentleman who was upset, but you'll then see his reply. Hey, Christo, Ethan here with BombBomb. Yes, we do know that there has been some slowing. Thank you for your feedback very much, and thanks for making us part of what you do. We sincerely appreciate you. And sorry for any confusion or frustration there. We have had those reports. We experienced ourselves. BombBomb.com is a Google Apps domain, so all of us use BombBomb in Gmail all the time. We believe we have solved that issue. It persisted for about 7 to 9 days, something like that. And then here was his response. I just wanted to be clear with him about what was going on and make sure he felt heard, and I feel like he did.
Thank you for the personal touch, and I'll definitely be in touch in the future. I wish you all the best, and maybe one of these days we can connect. Okay, Ethan, keep well. Bye.
Gave him a sincere message, told him what was going on, owned up to the problem, thanked him for using us, and that's what you get in return, is thank you for the personal touch, and I wish you the very, very best. And he will be in touch if he has any problems or excitements in the future. Last one here. This guy was asking about my whiteboard. I use a whiteboard all the time. When I go truly personal, you can see that I include people's names and other details. If I'm doing a personalized video, I'll think about the 2 or 3 or 4 triggers that are going to automate that send, and then write to those so that when people get these, we produce this animated preview. When people get it, they know that the video is highly relevant for them. The same as when Netflix sends me an email. I know that someone didn't craft that email just for me, but it speaks very specifically to me. And so that's what I try to do, not just in the subject line, but also in the animated preview, which works for your video, as your subject line is to your email open, your video preview is to your video play. So here's what I told him. Hey, Blake, it's Ethan. Thanks for the reply, and thanks for filling out the survey. I appreciate it. I'm not exactly sure where I got this, but I will show you something. I found it around the office. I was using one that I bought off Amazon. It's a smaller one, is like maybe, I don't know, 6x9 or something, and it had like this little plastic rim around it. I'll do a quick Amazon search and throw a link down below. But I found this around the office. So what I did is I found a flat board and put this little pop socket on there, and I promised that I would send him one. And here's what he said in exchange.
I just wanted to say thanks in advance. The videos always make a huge difference. People always feel like they have been spoken to. I can remember a guy not that long ago said, yeah, we were talking the other day. I'm just like, we weren't talking. I just sent you a bomb. anyway, that's all I got, man. Have a great day. And tell Charlie hello. Huh? And that's not a bad view from the porch. Have a great day, buddy. See you, man.
So again, this is a gentleman I've never met. He's never met me. We may never meet in person, but I have hundreds and hundreds of these people in our database by taking some time now and then to make personal touches. I met his dog. I saw where he lives. Some people are just operate this way, but he's referring to me in personal, warm terms. And I know that Blake is a guy, if I need something, if I need more feedback, if I want a customer testimonial video, if I need anything at all, he's going to be available there for me. And I know that he feels the same way about us. These are the types of relationships that create a more satisfying work experience. I know I draw a lot of pleasure and in addition, information and insight into our customers by building these simple relationships through video. Now, to customer support, we've long used video in all aspects of our business, including in customer support. But with our new Zendesk integration, we have better insight specifically into the efficacy of video in the process. So in our first 10 or 15,000 tickets, since we hooked the two up, we've seen an 82% decrease in time to resolution from about an hour down to 11 minutes, a 55% increase in one-touch resolution with evergreen videos, and I'll explain what that is in just a minute here, a 14% increase in one-touch resolution. Again, you send one video, boom, the ticket's solved, they got what they needed, and that's with personal videos, and then a 41% increase in satisfaction survey response rate. Now, satisfaction's about the same for us right now. It's 98 to 97 video to no video. But you can see that 31% of people are giving us feedback, positive, negative, or neutral, versus 22% when they don't have a video in the treatment. So what are we sending? This is Abby. She's awesome. She just recently got a promotion after being one of the very few people on our team to resolve 1,000 tickets in a month. So I just grabbed a few examples from her from a couple days in December, and here's one of them.
Hey, Dave, Abby here with BombBomb. Pleasure speaking with you today. I'm glad we're able to go over that CRM tracking field as well as white labeling and add that to your account free of charge. So let me know if you do have any other questions. Otherwise, have a great day.
Just doubling down, making sure they got what they need, reminding them of the value. She gave a little free upgrade there. And it's just a nice follow-up to an experience with us. Here's another one.
Hey, buddy, Abby here with BombBomb. Pleasure speaking with you today. I'm glad we're able to kind of make a plan for you there to use the screen recorder within Total Expert. That way you can kind of go through each of the websites with those clients there and then show them kind of a walkthrough of it. Better to put into your Total Expert than completely building something out in BombBomb. So let us know if there's anything else we can help you with. Otherwise, have a great day.
We have a ton of integrations. She's reminding them of that, reminding them of one of our core, reminding that gentleman, of one of our core competencies, working where you work, and reminding him that we provide value in the system that he prefers to work in, not just in our own platform.
Hey, Pamela, Abby here with BombBomb. Just wanted to record you that quick video to show you how to add your video into this campaign here.
So from this one, I don't know the exact story, but I assume she was on the phone or got an email reply and decided that the best thing to do after that initial touch was to jump into her account, spend a couple minutes showing her exactly step by step in her own account how to get something done. And I'll tell you why that's such a big difference in just a minute. So this is just part of what she does. On one of the days that I grabbed an example from, she sent 17 videos. The second day, that I grabbed one or two examples from, she sent 15 videos that day. She sent about 1,800 videos in a year. This is just part of how we work, how we resolve tickets, how we follow up on tickets, and how we make sure our customers know that they've been heard. So which ones do we do evergreen and which ones do we make truly personal? Those are all truly personal, but we also do some where we record them once, or each rep records them once and uses them over and over again in automations and macros and things. So that was a product or feature walkthrough or workaround. That's a #1 use case. I would expect that if you're using video in your support team or service team, that you are also doing this. And so, it's software, so sometimes things aren't going to get fixed or resolved or worked out the way you want. So you have a workaround, a common workaround. So when someone comes in and says, hey, this doesn't seem to be going the way I expected it to, you say, oh, here you go, here's the workaround. Because, other things are in competition for getting fixed. And so, product features, workthroughs, and walkarounds are very, very helpful. Thanks for that. And that's how you get, by the way, to that dramatic increase in one-touch resolution is I can tell you exactly how to solve this thing you're asking about. So you do it for your most popular cases and you have it ready to go. Huge time saver. Thanks for your feature request. That doesn't need to be custom every single time. Thanks for your time on the phone today. Again, just putting a face with the name, adding a small human touch to that overall experience, and letting them know that you're available in the future. So these are just a few of the ones that we can and use over and over again. Truly personal. This is my very favorite one. A problem with multiple potential causes or multiple potential solutions. You run into this all the time. So think about the alternative. This is what I was talking about with Abby there in the screen recorder. Instead of sending that woman a link to 1 or 2 support articles, she goes into the account and shows her exactly what it's going to look like when she gets in, and shows her exactly where to go. Same thing here. Instead of rounding up the 3 support articles that capture the potential causes and solutions, writing around them and sending it to someone, they open it up, and what do they have? They have this block of text with 3 links, and they have to click them and go to the support article and look at static images or maybe a video that isn't in their account. It might not look exactly like theirs, read a bunch of words and try to parse it all out. Or you could just jump into their account, and in 3 minutes you say, hey, I'm 70% sure that this is the situation up here in the right corner, do this, that, and the other thing, but there's a chance it's this other thing over here, so click this, do that. And if those aren't resolving the issue, there's a small outside shot that it's this other thing over here. I'm here for you. Take a look at it. Now they have a document that benefits 2 people. One, obviously the customer. He or she has something that they can refer to over and over again, and it looks exactly like their experience is going to look. But the other beneficiary is another support team member in your customer support team who may have to reopen that ticket at some point in the future. And instead of getting into a 61-minute email exchange back and forth where there's some confusion and misunderstanding that always happens with plain typed out text, you have a single document that the previous person can refer to, and they know exactly what's going on there much more quickly. Positive behavior reinforcement, again, turning non-users into users, turning users into habitual users, turning habitual users into super users, reinforcing that, whether it's adopting a new feature because they've been using this one really well and this one's adjacent and solves their problem, or whether it's really doubling down on a feature that you already communicated with them about. And then anything, this applies to any video in any seat in the house, talent management, recruiting, inside sales, outside sales, marketing, CS, anywhere. Anything with emotion, nuance, or detail is very often better communicated in a video than it is in plain typed out text. When you can look someone in the eyes as if they're across the table from you and just explain in common terms what's going on. And in CS in particular, you're often dealing with people who are in a negative emotional state. They're frustrated, they're confused, they might potentially even angry or belligerent. And so when you look someone in the eye and empathize with him or her, let them know that they've been heard and provide a resolve. Let them know that there's a real human on the other side, that they are not just another number. They're not just another ticket. They're not just another problem. They are someone who I'm going to take the time and look in the eye and speak to directly. It goes a long, long way to improving the experience. Now that last one, the freemium upsell, this is a company I can't name, but they've got thousands of employees, nearly $1 billion in revenue, and they have a freemium service. They have several freemium services, but the one I'm thinking of in particular, they of course have inside sales set up to upsell into the paid service. And so we worked with them to look at the process of emails and videos and prescribe some video treatments in that process. And when they mixed in video into the emails to generate replies from these freemium users, they saw a 56% increase in replies using videos versus not using videos, continuing to use plain typed out text. That's a 9.8% reply rate versus 6.3%. On plain text alone. And if you play the video, this is a little intuitive, it more than doubles to 22% reply rate when people actually watch those videos. Now think about this. If the top of the chain is an email reply, the next one is a conversation and maybe a demo set, then a demo held. You convert X% of the demos on the demo. You convert Y% of the demos within 90 days of the demo, and you have this new revenue out of the freemium population. If you could increase the top of that whole process by 56%, why wouldn't you do it, right? It's a huge opportunity, and this is the difference that a simple personal touch makes. And again, this is the start in many cases of a really fruitful relationship. These are the accounts that we get to expand and grow and retain and all of that. So tips for better videos. Start with what you already have. You do not need any special equipment to do this. Practice. If you're starting a new sport or hobby or activity or a musical instrument or something else, You don't expect to be amazing out of the gate. You do need to do some practice. And it's the same thing with video. Seeing yourself and hearing yourself on camera can be uncomfortable at first because you're not accustomed to it. A little bit of practice goes a long way. Practice builds confidence. Confidence builds success. And when you start getting those affirmative replies like, thank you so much, that was amazing, great to see a real human on the other side, that's going to validate your effort and produce that positive upward spiral of practice, confidence, and success. Look into the lens. The whole benefit of this is making eye contact. There's so much built in. We've been looking each other in the eye as long as we've been on 2 feet as a species, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years. And so this is a very natural thing for us. We read a lot of energy. We read a lot of information off of each other's. The foundation for all this rich nonverbal communication and social connection is by looking into the lens. That's how you look your viewer in the eye. So if your lens, which is typically a little black dot, if it's on a black rim of a laptop or a black rim on your smartphone, locate that lens in advance of hitting the record button, know where it is, and maintain regular eye contact with it. Don't use a script. If you're a BDR, SDR, inside sales rep, or you're managing that team, you certainly have some scripts that you're using, and you can apply those to video, but do not read words off the screen as you do your video because it's going to be awkward for you. It's going to be awkward for the viewer. The whole point is to be conversational and to exude confidence or empathy or excitement or enthusiasm or sincerity or gratitude or any of these things that typed out text just can't capture and convey as well as you can yourself as a human being. And so doing this without a script is really valuable. If you are in a highly repetitive environment, A, record that video once and use it over and over, or B, just get comfortable with the process for that. You're going to iron it out and work it out. Know where the light is. You don't need special equipment, but know where the light is. If you have a big window on this side of you, so you're overlit and you're kind of dark over here, maybe pick up an extra desk lamp or a clamp lamp or something like that. You might only turn it on when you're recording videos. Know where the light is overall. I'm just standing under a fluorescent box overhead. Nothing special going on here, and it's sufficient for me. It is good enough, but just pay attention. Light should generally come in front of you, not too high, not too low, and certainly not from behind you because that'll put your face in the dark. And then the last one is smile. Particularly if you're on the sales side of your organization, you probably already know the sales benefits of smiling, but there are a number of psychological, chemical, physiological benefits to you as a human being smiling. Stopping in your day and smiling. And when you do that before you start recording a video, you put yourself in a better place, but you're also becoming immediately more attractive and opening up receptivity to your viewer when you smile. It's a simple, natural thing. Again, we've been communicating face-to-face as a species for millennia, and we need to capitalize on that. That's why we need to rehumanize our customer experience, rehumanize our communication with these simple videos. Now, this is just a 25-minute, 30-minute presentation. We have hours and hours we could go. Our CMO, Steve Passanelli, and I have written a book. It's going to be released in April by Wiley. It's available for pre-order now. If any of this is interesting to you, we go a lot deeper in this book. The full what, why, and how of personal video. We've got case studies in a chapter dedicated to it. And throughout the book, we talk video not just in email, but in text messaging and social messaging, equipment considerations, how to set up your office, or how to extra little equipment you can get to upgrade your smartphone videos, for example. The mindset and psychology, not just as a video recorder, but also for your video recipient as well. We go deep on that. Tips to get more opens, to get more plays, to get more replies, responses, and clicks. And follow-up plans. What happens if you send a video in an email and the email gets opened, but the video doesn't get played? What do I do then? We have that on a one-to-one and a one-to-many basis, and we have a whole follow-up process for if your video gets played, but you don't get the reply. All of that and a lot more. We're really excited about this. Steve and I have been doing this for many years. We're working with tens of thousands of people in dozens of countries around the world in a wide variety of industries. We've seen it all, and I hope you picked up my enthusiasm for it in the relationships I've built with our customers where I learned how this really works. I've sent about 8,000 videos myself, but I've spoken with hundreds and hundreds of people who've sent thousands of videos themselves. Hey, if you liked any of this, you have any questions at all, I am personally open, especially because you got to the end of this, this lesson. Email me, ethan@bombbomb.com. I'd be happy to answer anything, share anything, provide more follow-up examples, whatever you want. Or you can connect with me on social by my first and last name, either separately or jammed together. And we are at bombbomb.com. If you're compelled by this opportunity, If you pre-ordered the book, but you can't wait to get started, which would be a good thing, or you don't want the book and you would still like to try it out, you can do it 2 weeks, absolutely free, no credit card required. We work on iPhone and Android. We've actually got 2 separate apps for each platform, an inbox app and then a kind of a marketing app. For both iOS and for Android. We work in Gmail, we work in Outlook, we work in Zendesk, we work in Salesforce. Through a middleware like Zapier, you can hook things up and make things happen over here and over here at the same time. And so we indirectly connect or middleware connect to, I think there are well over 1,000 apps in that solution by now. So I appreciate you so much. I appreciate Wes and Traffic as Currency for this opportunity. I hope you found it interesting and valuable. I'm deeply convinced that we need to rehumanize the way that we're running our businesses every day. So you need to find those spots, not just to personalize, but to also get truly personal. Thanks so much. Take care.